On Monday morning, a new student transferred into our class. Her name was Rina Takagi. She seemed out of place, as if she wasn't trying to blend in with the rest of us. She remained expressionless and didn't speak to anyone. It so happened that she was assigned to sit next to me. As soon as the first lesson started, I felt something was off. I could see the air around Rina subtly wavering. But none of the other classmates seemed to notice. I glanced over at her. The next moment, Rina whispered in a low voice.
You can see it, can't you?
I widened my eyes in surprise but managed to nod. Without changing her expression, she returned her gaze to her notebook. From that day on, I was convinced that Rina had some sort of special power. Strange things would happen around her in the classroom. For example, whenever she stared out the window during class, the wind would suddenly start blowing, or the words she wrote in her notebook would glow. Naturally, I was the only one who could see it. A few days later, after school, I mustered up the courage to speak to her. Rina, can you use magic or something? Rina sighed and gazed out the window.
Yes. I come from a family of sorcerers. But it's hard for me to blend into ordinary life. I don't want anyone to know.
Her voice was tinged with exhaustion. No one at all? I asked.
That's right. People like me, with powers, are dangerous when we get involved with ordinary people.
Rina showed a slightly somber expression.
That's why I always keep to myself.
I never would have guessed that she carried such a secret. But I told her, I won't tell anyone. But you don't have to be alone. Little by little, Rina began to open up to me about her magic. Her magic, she explained, reacts to emotions. Because of that, it's difficult for her to control it. If she gets too angry or sad, it affects the world around her. One day, a big incident happened in the class. Strange phenomena started happening frequently at school, like windows opening by themselves and desks moving on their own. Rumors began to spread. Of course, I immediately realized that Rina's magic was involved. Rina, you're the one doing this, right? I confronted her after school in the classroom. Rina looked down in distress.
I couldn't control my emotions, and before I knew it, things started happening independently.
Her powers were spiraling out of control. To stop it, she needed to confront her abilities and learn how to manage them. Let's practice together, Rina. You're not alone. I held out my hand to her. She hesitated for a moment, but eventually, she gave a small nod and took my hand. At that moment, the air around her shimmered again, and a gentle breeze of light began swirling around us. But this time, it felt warm and peaceful.